Hi you guys. Alright, so this is a little new for me. So my name's Alexis Trevino, and if you've been following me for a while, you'll notice that I post faith-based content, vlogs, lifestyle, fashion, all that good stuff. Today I was reading a devotional and I didn't plan to make this video, but this devotional for today on November 9th is something that I feel like we all need to hear. This couldn't have come at a better time because yesterday I was worrying so much. I was thinking about all of my future plans, and after I read this devotional, I'll kind of explain like my story and why this really hit home for me. So today's devotional, November 9th, it reads, "Sit quietly with me, letting all your fears and worries bubble up to the surface of your consciousness. There, in the light of my presence, the bubbles pop and disappear. However, some fears surface over and over again, especially fear of the future." Like, this is me. This is literally me. "You tend to project yourself mentally into the next day, week, month, year, decade, and you visualize yourself coping badly in those times. What you are seeing is a false image because it doesn't include me. Those gloomy times that you imagine will not come to pass, since my presence will be with you at all times." Like, let me say this again. "Those gloomy times that you imagine will not come to pass, since my presence will be with you at all times. Future-oriented worry assails you. Capture it and disarm it by sufficing the light of my presence into that mental image. Say to yourself, Jesus will be with me then and there. With his help, I can cope. Then come home to the present moment where you can enjoy peace in my presence." Oh, I'm just getting chills because this is like something I so badly needed to read and so badly needed to be reminded of. And so if you needed this, then this was for a reason. And then it goes on to 3 scriptures. The first one is, "Then Jesus said to his disciples, 'Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. Life is more than food, and the body more than clothes. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable you are than birds. Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to his life?'" Luke 12:22-25. The reason why I'm getting like jittery is because I just posted a video on YouTube that references this verse word by word, and it's just so crazy how God works. Do you guys see this? Like, oh my goodness. Anyway, so the next one was, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Deuteronomy 31:6. "We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." 2 Corinthians 10:5. The reason why this really hits home is because yesterday I was honestly listing out pros and cons of like 2 pretty big decisions I had to make yesterday, and I was thinking so far into the future. I was worrying about where I was gonna live. I was just getting ahead of myself, and it was causing me so much anxiety. And it's just crazy how yesterday, that day in particular, like I really struggled with this. And so it's just a reminder that God works wonders. Like, had I not had those thoughts yesterday, this probably wouldn't have been a devotional that I shared with you guys because it probably wouldn't have really resonated with my current situation. But the fact that it was something that I seriously needed to hear, just be reminded of the goodness of our God and how it's just spot on when it says you tend to project yourself mentally into the next day, week, month, year, decade, and you visualize yourself coping badly in those times, which I literally was. I was thinking of every bad thing that would happen. I was just worrying like crazy. And then it says what you are seeing is a false image because it doesn't include me. And so this is just a reminder that once you include God, once you feel his presence with you, like you won't be worrying about those things because you know that all things work together for the good and the glory of God. And this, I hope, encouraged you because I just really needed to hear this today, and maybe it's something that you needed to hear. Guys, bring all your struggles, bring all your things to God because he could do so much more with it than you can. And we forget about the goodness and we forget about the strength and power that God has. Like, if he didn't want to go through the suffering, he could have snapped his fingers and Satan would be gone. Like, if he didn't want to do this, he didn't have to do it, but he did it because he wanted to save us. All right, you guys, that is it. I just wanted to share this devotional with you because I really think that it can impact you. Or if you honestly came across this video for some reason, like, I don't know, God works wonders. So maybe you really needed to hear it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you sit with God, and I hope you pray about this, and I hope that whatever you're going through, whatever struggles that you're facing, whatever uncertain moments that you're going through, that you just remember God is with you through it all, that God's faithfulness, God's love, God's protection, and God's goodness just will continuously cover you. And if you lose sight of who God is, that's when the enemy goes in. And don't let the enemy win. Don't let him win, because he wants your eyes not to be fixed on Jesus. He wants it to be fixed on him. And that's not going to happen. Okay, that's not going to happen. So bye, you guys.